In fact, if he were going for help, he wouldn't have to go all the way to town. Only as far as the nearest telephone. No, he had a definitive appointment, and it was in a town.
Then, why couldn't he have taken the last bus and waited there until his appointment? How about it, Nicky? Why couldn't he have got there earlier and waited?
He could have, but since he did not, we must assume that for whatever reason he missed the last bus. Or he had to wait where he was for a signal of some sort. Perhaps a telephone call.
Then, according to you, he had an appointment very late at night or very early in the morning.
We can get much more specific than that. Remember, it takes some 4 hours to walk those 9 miles. Now look, the last bus stops at 12:30. If instead of taking that bus, he begins walking at the exact same time that the bus leaves, he won't arrive at his destination until 4:30. On the other hand, if he takes the first bus in the morning, he would arrive at 5:30.
Well, that would mean that his appointment was on time between 4:30 and 5:30.
And another thing. If he was waiting for a phone call or a signal, it must have come around 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I see that. If his appointment was around 5 o'clock, and it takes 4 hours to walk the distance, he had to start around 1, yeah.
That reminds me that you're going to be late for your conference.
Habla del Imperio, por favor.
¿Vamos por el centro o vamos por afuera?
Me da igual. Look, Nicky. Vargas is exactly 9 miles far from Toledo.
Vargas. I am from Vargas. Have you been there?
It doesn't have to be Toledo, you know. It could be any of those small towns in the surroundings, like Fuensalida, Mostejón, or Torrijos.
Torrijos. And my wife is from Torrijos.
Why would anyone want to be in Torrijos at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Torrijos at 5 o'clock in the morning. The train is working all the night. It's much noisy there. 5 o'clock in the morning in Torrijos. It's not fair.
Look, the train that goes to Seville forks at Torrijos. Excuse me, do you have a train schedule by any chance?
¿Perdón?
Un horario de trenes.
Ah, sí.
Thank you. Look, the train leaves Vitoria at 12:47 a.m. It stops at Torrijos at 5 and gets into Seville at 8 a.m.
Well, 9 miles far from Torrijos is San Nicolas Hotel.
San Nicolas. Nice hotel. Don't tell to my wife.
But that upsets the whole theory, man. You can arrange for transportation as easily as you can in a town.
No. The attendant would remember anyone taking out a car at a strange hour. Although, he might have waited in his room until he got a call from Vitoria about someone on the train. Maybe the number of the car and the berth. Then he could have slipped out of the hotel and walked to Torrijos. Wouldn't it be difficult to slip aboard the train while they were preparing for the split? And then, if he knew the number of the car and the berth...
Para aquí. Nick. I think I'm gonna call the police. No, it's ridiculous. It's insane, yeah, but I think I'm gonna do it.
What he's looking for? You understand Spanish? You like music? Música.
so hollow again. You see clearly in all the confusion when nothing makes no sense and light can't shine through.
Nicky, this is probably the most remarkable coincidence in the history of criminal investigation. A man was found murdered in his berth on last night's 1247 train from Vitoria. He'd been dead about 3 hours, which would make it exactly right for Torrijos.
I thought it was something like that. But you're wrong about it being a coincidence. It can't have. Where did you get that sentence?
It was just a sentence. Simply popped into my head.
It couldn't have. It's not the sort of sentence that pops into one's head. When you ask someone for a sentence, you get an ordinary statement, such as, I like milk because it's good for my health. The sentence you offered related to a particular situation.
I don't know. It could be anything.
Did you meet anyone this morning?
No. I was alone with you at the bar.
I paid the check.
So?
So you weren't with me. You were waiting on the sidewalk for me to come out of the coffee bar. You must have heard something.
I was outside for less than a minute before you joined me. Well, yeah, a couple of men came in while I was waiting for you. And one of them stepped in a paddle.
Were they talking?
Yeah? You think it was them?
Hey, you coming or what?
There had to be two. One to trail the victim in Vitoria and get his birth number, and the other to wait here and do the job. The Vitoria man would be likely to come down here afterwards. If there was theft as well as murder, it would be to divide the profit. If it was just murder, he would probably have to come down to pay off his confederate. We've been gone for less than half an hour, and they were just coming into the bar. And service is rather slow in that place. The one who walked all the way to Torrijos must certainly be hungry. And the other one probably drove all night from Vitoria. Why do you tell them to call the hotel?
They asked me where they could reach us.
Carlos, I'm in Toledo. I don't want to spend the whole morning locked in a hotel room.
Sí. Sí. Oh, muchas gracias. De nada. Gracias. Adiós. One of them tried to escape through the kitchen. Some policemen were stationed at the back and they got him.
Well, that would seem to prove it. I believe we're late for your conference. The organizers are going to be really happy with you. What a way to have of wasting time.
Nick? What was it you set out to prove?
But the chain of conclusions could be logical and still not be true.
Oh.
What are you laughing at?
It's very nice to go traveling. Paris